If you ask, what is the necessity for obedience? Number one, obedience is necessary because grace does not excuse it. Titus 2:11 and 12. It said, the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, and we should live soberly, righteously, and goodly in this present world. We should live soberly, righteously, and goodly. If we check many versions, we are going to see what soberly means. It's an obedient, submitted lifestyle to God. So grace teaches us to live an obedient and submitted lifestyle. So grace does not excuse obedience. Number two, what's the necessity or justification for obedience? Obedience is the proof of love. That's why in every dispensation God institutes obedience. You can't claim you love a spirit without obeying him. Spirits don't hear the language of emotion primarily. One of the strongest language spirits here is obedience. Jesus was speaking, John 14:15. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, if you say you love me. And John the apostle was speaking in 1 John 2:3-4. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. Verse 4, he that saith I know him and keepeth not his commandment is a liar, and the truth is not in him. Part of his commandment or his works is to believe that he is the Son of God. But that's not all. It extends. And Paul told us to live sober, to live righteous, and to live godly in this life. Not in heaven, in this life. They are all part of his command. Number three, why is obedience necessary? Obedience is faith in action. Faith can be docile if there's no obedience. Faith can be unproductive if there's no obedience. You saw that already. James 2:20. Faith without works is dead. Number four, obedience is a grace empowered lifestyle. Anybody who has seen the power of grace, one of the way he demonstrates it is through obedience. Romans 1:5, Philippians 2:13. You can't claim you have seen the power of grace if you are not living obedient. One of the demonstrations of the power of grace is obedient life. Paul said, by whom we have received grace and apostleship for obedience to the faith among all nations for his name. So grace is empowerment demonstrated in obedience. Philippians 2:13, it is God that worketh in us both to will and to do of his good pleasure. And finally, what's the justification for obedience? Obedience is righteous living. And so grace is not access to sin. It's not permission to live in sin. If grace provokes righteous living, then obedience must be a lifestyle. Romans 6:16, to whom you yield yourselves servants to obey. His servant you are, whom you obey, whether of sin unto death or obedience unto righteousness. So obedience is important because it is what? Righteous living. And grace also is an errand unto righteous living. So apart from all of the blessings of obedience that will be seen, these 5 points are justifications for obedience. And these 5 points reveal to us that obedience is not legalism, neither is obedience a work of the flesh. It reveals to us that obedience is something deeper than legalism and deeper than works of the flesh. So what then is obedience? Obedience is not obeying rules and regulations. Obeying rules and regulation is a part of it, but it's deeper than that. Obedience is a heart level response to the will of God. A heart level response to the will of God. When a man is able to discern God's will and he responds to God's will, that action is called obedience. And if obedience is of the spirit, it is rooted in love, in faith, and in reverence. It's a heart level submission, a heart level response to the will of God. And if it is of the spirit, it is rooted in love, in faith, and in reverence. So anybody who doesn't obey God is not a man that loves God. You prove your love for God through obedience. Anybody who does not obey God is not really a man of faith, because as you walk in faith, you are going to discover that every manifestation of faith has one trigger. It's called obedience. So obedience is a heart reality demonstrated in love, faith, and reverence. And the summary of the manifestation is submission or responding to God's will. In order to exemplify it in a more clear fashion, I broke it into 6. Number 1, I said it is hearing God's voice and responding accordingly. And Jesus said in John 10:27, my sheep heareth my voice and they obey. So I'm not taking you to the era of Moses. I'm showing you present hour walk in the spirit. My sheep heareth my voice and they what? Obey. So obedience is hearing God's voice and obeying. Number 2, obedience is submission to God's authority and the position of his word. Submission to God's authority and the position of his word. That's why I said it's not rules and regulations. manipulation. I won't come here and say, don't barb your hair like this. That's not what I'm teaching. That'll be legalism. But if you know God, you will know him because his authority will be exerted on your soul. Your ability to submit under that authority is obedience. James 4:7. It says, submit yourselves to God. Submit yourselves to God. Then rebuke the devil. Number 3, obedience is yieldedness. Yieldedness to the life and the promptings of the Spirit. If you have the life of God, you will know that life has languages. The language of life may not be audible, it may not be articulate, but you can't deny it. You know why? Life speaks through promptings. Life speaks through knowings. As you are, if you are hungry, nobody will whisper in your ear, you are hungry. No, there's a way life will prompt all your system that an alarm will go off. If you are pressed, nobody will come and tell you it's 4:12 p.m. now you are pressed, go to the restroom. No, that's not how life talks. If you are pressed, you will start sweating from everywhere. Nobody will tell you, you will know. And you will know that the only way to ease up is to obey. So it's a response. It said the law of the Spirit of life, Romans 8:2, that is in Christ Jesus, has set me free from the law of sin and death. So life prompts, and those laws, those promptings are laws because they come for you to obey. And then the stirring of the Spirit, as many as are led by the Spirit, they are the sons of God. So the difference between a child of God and a son of God, amongst other things, is obedience. When you want to separate children from sons, check obedience. As many as are led by the Spirit, they are the sons of God. All of us, when we received the life of Christ, we became children of God. But there is a journey from being a child of God to a son of God. Kingdom is not for children. Kingdom is for sons. Unto us a child is given. Unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given. Then the government shall be upon the shoulder of the son. Daniel 7:13 and 14. He saw the Son of Man, and a kingdom was given to him. You don't give government to children. But the difference between a child and a son is obedience.